YouTube, welcome back guys. Hope everyone's having a great day. Today I'm going to do 5 things that I hate about my Toyota Celica GTS, 5 things I just can't stand about it, and I'm just going to jump right into this one. The first thing that I really don't like about this car, and I've always not liked about it, it's front wheel drive. It looks like a rear wheel drive car. Everyone I've ever talked to go, oh that's a cool car, does it drift? No, it doesn't drift. I mean, you can power slide it with the e-brake, but it is a front wheel drive car, which, I mean, it's good for quick burnouts, I guess, but it really doesn't put the power down. It never has been able to put the power down. First and second gear, when you add any kind of forced induction on these cars, it really just spins the wheels, doesn't hook up. Looks awesome, but it is front wheel drive, and that's a big downfall for it. I think that they did that because Toyota said, hey, we can make this a cool looking car. Front wheel drive is affordable. We can put the transmission, the axles, and everything up front, and it makes the car more affordable for them to mass produce it. So that being said, it is a front wheel drive. I think it's one of its truly only downfalls. If it was a rear wheel drive car, this would have been one of the most best-selling sports cars of all time. I truly believe that. You know, if you want to get a rear wheel drive car, hop over to a Toyota MR2 Spider, mid-engine and rear wheel drive. That's a way to go too. I got one of those. I absolutely love it. And I got that on purpose because that one was rear wheel drive and this one was front wheel drive. So I definitely recommend hopping over to MR2, but aesthetics wise, hands down, this car is way prettier than the Toyota MR2 in my opinion. Now, this might contradict it a little bit, but on my last one, I wrote on there, I wrote 5 things that I love about my MR2, and it was the power plant, the engine. What engine do I love on it? And it's the 2ZZ, and I do love the 2ZZ. It is an absolutely great platform, so fun and enjoyable, but with the stock power, it says it comes with 180 to the crank, and then it says it comes to about 160 to the wheels, which when in my dyno videos, it really does come to about 160 to the wheels. You can go look at my old dyno videos. If you add a couple modifications, such as maybe a Tier 80 exhaust or an exhaust and an intake, you can get it up to about 170 wheel horsepower, which then can convert to like maybe 200 crank horsepower. But the non-turboed version of this car, even though it's very lightweight, the car only weighs about 2,500 pounds, it still needs more power. Quarter miles are really slow on this, I mean like high 14s. You can maybe get like a 14.2. I think I've ran a 14.2 in the past. That's the best one with some modifications on NA. If you add forced induction, totally changes the car. Absolutely more fun. It is hard to hook up with the forced induction, but it's a lot more fun. So that was reason 2. I don't like it because it doesn't have enough horsepower. It could have used a little bit more juice. If they would have just broken the 200 horsepower or like maybe 220 from factory, that would have been awesome. It's hard to get that out of a 2ZZ without any kind of forced induction. But if they put a supercharger on this car from factory, like they did the first generation MR2, that would have been nuts. That would have been awesome. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this car. What I mean by that is on this car, it has aesthetic looks. If you look at this thing, it's very good looking, really aesthetic, but it's still a Toyota. You can take it and bring it to a gas station, and with the TRD action package, the bright 3PO red, the absolute red I have on here, the look of it will get a stranger, like just a non-car person, they'll like, oh, that's a nice looking car, that's a really nice car. But anyone that's in the, not Toyota, but anyone that's in the car community or into cars, they still think it's just a Toyota Celica. They always say, I like the way they look, but it's just a Toyota. That's actually a downfall. One of the reasons why is you can get like a Lotus, and the Lotus has prestige. I have a Lotus now, and everyone goes, ooh, it's a Lotus. This car handles great, it really does. It has good power, just needs a little bit more, but in the end, everyone just says it's just a Toyota. I think that was one of its downfalls, is that everyone just said it's just a Toyota. So when you pull up to a car meet and everyone's like, ah, it's just a Toyota. The Supra kind of separated itself from Toyota. It's more like the Supra, oh, you have a Supra. It's not too much the Toyota Supra. Some people say the Toyota Supra if they're a real car enthusiast, but the Toyota Supra definitely broke away from being a Toyota. This Celica actually never broke away. It's still, people still measure in the Toyota realm. It's a little bit of a downfall, but on the other hand, you get the reliability. So how much can you hate it? It's hard to hate on this car. It's a beautiful, fun, fast car that I really like. The next thing that was kind of hard on this one, as you guys can see, if you want some of these, swing by MITCHDORE.com. But the aftermarket scene on this car was very small. There's not very many parts for it. They're very hard. If you find like a supercharger, they're usually from a Lotus or from some other car that's very expensive. If you find a turbo kit or buy a turbo kit, they're very expensive. You know, even for the ECUs around on these cars, it's very expensive and hard to find. The aftermarket part scene was very small for this car. I'm not sure why. I think it was because it was coming towards an end, or I'm not sure why, but it was just always a small market for these. If you want headlights, there's like 5 or 6 different pairs you can maybe get, while other cars have like 15 pairs. Or if you want taillights, there's like 1 or 2 different kind of taillights that you can get. There's like 3 or 4 body kits, and that's about it. For power-wise, there's not really much out there. I do recommend swinging by Monkey Wrench Racing. They'll have some power stuff if you guys want to look for them. But the car scene or the aftermarket scene was really, really small. That was one of the complaints that I had when I bought this car, is that they are small and overpriced. It was hard to get any parts for this car. That was an issue that I had. The last reason's kind of hard. I was thinking about like, what's another reason? I was like writing them down and thinking about it. Like, it's the 4. I did 4 and now I'm on 5, and I don't have one right now with this video. So I'm just gonna say it doesn't really fit anywhere. It's a 2-door, under 200 horsepower. I mean, it could be a commuter car. It's not a super sports car. Like the STI was a sports car. That's a sports car. The Evo, that's a sports car. If it had 250 horsepower, like a Nissan SRT, I'm not saying that that's a sports car, but it is a sport looking car and it has great handling. It just doesn't feel truly, truly, truly like a sports car. I think it's because Toyota quit doing the GT4 after they dropped out of that. You know, they quit doing the GT4 on the old all-track and all those things. Those are like crazy, crazy. You know, those had more horsepower than this, and that was a lot older. That was a 10-year-older car. I think when Toyota lost that part of their heritage, and you know, Mitsubishi was still doing the rally racing and still had motivation. Same with STI. They're still doing the rally. They're still having motivation to build those kind of cars. This car kind of fell off of that, and I think that what happened with this car is it became a beautiful aesthetic sports car, and I truly adore it. But you know, after driving like a Lotus Elise for a long time, or an MR2, to be honest, the MR2, those cars feel like sports cars. This just, I don't know where it fits. It just fits into like a good daily car, just a good car, but it doesn't really feel like a sports car. So that's, I guess, my last reason. Is it looks like a sports car, but it doesn't truly feel always so sporty. And I think that's because my opinion is spoiled by having a Lotus, and my opinion is spoiled by having the MR2 for so many years. Now, if you just hop in this car from like a Ford Taurus, you hop in this car from any other basic sedan car, this thing is gonna feel like a sports car. But if you jump into this and then jump into MR2 SPYDER, or jump into MR2 SPYDER and then jump into a Lotus, this, out of those 3, this feels the least sporty. And then, believe it or not, the Evo is a big box, but it does feel a little bit more sporty than this car. This car is just a good, beautiful aesthetic car. It's a good driver. Everything's about it. I don't have any hate on it at all. This is just 5 things that I hate, you know, just to say. But I really don't hate this car. I truly love it. I'll always recommend it. It was my first car. I will always recommend 2000 to 2005, 6, 7, whatever it was, Toyota Celica GTS. The 7th generation was a beautiful generation. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. I'm one of the only ones that really does too much content with the Toyota Celica. Also, got a Lotus Elise Turbo. If you guys want to see that and you're new to the channel, it's a crazy build. MR2 SPYDER with a 2ZZ motor in it, turboed as well. And then of course I got an Evo 10. That's a nice daily driver. That's a good daily driver. Other than that, make sure to hit the like button, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.